So you met with your IVF doctor and you walked into the appointment expecting that he or she would say, okay, we're going to do an IVF retrieval and then an IVF fresh cycle or frozen transfer, and we are hoping for success. But instead, you heard, what we propose is that you do 3 IVF retrievals back to back. We'll freeze everything and then maybe test or not before we do a transfer. One of the questions we get asked all the time here at Fertilista is, should I do 3 IVF retrievals back to back? What does that look like? And how am I going to do with that? And is that hard on my body? I'm Nicole Stern. I'm the founder of Fertilista, and we get asked this question all the time. And I want to lay it out for you. The good, the bad, the ugly, with 3 back-to-back retrievals. One of the things I want you to know is when you go in for your very first IVF retrieval ever, it's very diagnostic. Sometimes we think, okay, great, I have my first IVF retrieval scheduled, and then we're going to have a transfer, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to have my baby. Sometimes doctors need that first IVF retrieval to see, how are you going to respond to the medications? Are you going to have a lot of follicles retrieved? Are there going to be a lot of embryos fertilized in the lab? And sometimes they just don't know. So I do see a lot of value in having 2 retrievals scheduled back to back. So you have your first retrieval, you see what happens, the doctor evaluates the data, i.e., how many were retrieved, how many were fertilized, how many went to blast or frozen. And then he or she, your doctor, can make adjustments for the second retrieval. So they can adjust the meds, they can adjust the timing, and so on and so forth. Now, sometimes after that second, we're super jazzed, we're very happy with what's happened, and a third retrieval is just the icing on the cake. Sometimes that third retrieval, though, can seem really daunting for the patient. Like, I'm exhausted, right? The patient might think, I'm so tired. I'm really reacting to the medications. I don't think I can do this. My work has gotten crazy, or it's the holidays, or something's kind of exploded in my family that I need to attend to. So when we see that, sometimes there is a lot of value to take a break. Take a month, 2 months, 3 months. That's not going to make a big difference in the results of the third retrieval, but it is going to make a big difference for the patient. So they're going to go into it feeling a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more energized, a little bit less stressed. For some patients, they want to immediately go into a third retrieval, and because they're anxious and they want to get it done with. But sometimes they do need to take that break. Whether it's the medications have been hard, they just need to give their bodies time to recover. So you want to really think about, where does it fit in terms of scheduling with your life? Where does it fit in terms of your body and how it's feeling? And really listen to that, because you're going to have the best intuition in terms of the outcome. And one of the best advice I can give anyone is to, if you see a very hard time coming up at work or the holidays, don't do a retrieval right then. Plan around it. Do it the cycle before or the cycle after. It's not going to make a big difference in terms of the number of follicles retrieved. 30, 60 days, not a measurable difference, but you need to have your sanity during these retrievals. I'll give you all the credit in the world. I know it's so tough. I often say that IVF is like a boxing match where you get punched in the ribs, you go down, and you got to get back up. That's the thing with IVF. For the most, women are going to come out on the other end with a healthy, happy pregnancy, but it can be brutal getting there. Stay strong, follow us. I'd love to hear about your journey. I'm Nicole Stern, founder of Fertilista.